No, нет, на английскую. По-английски, не по-русски.
So, the okay, so l'chaim everyone. This is my cup. And just start with tzedakah.
From a restaurant in Yerushalayim.
Geulah tzedakah shemekaraves et Geulah. And I see this cup as a whole. Okay, so I saw before Rivka Malka wrote something on the chat, Rivka Malka Perlman. And when I saw her, I was like right away flashed with memory of the first Geulah gathering that I can remember. It was, I guess, like 5 years ago. I think it was February 2019. I don't know. She could write in the chat. It wasn't, of course, the first Geulah gathering, but it was the first one that I remember this feeling of, wow, like the whole world, all Jewish women and girls all over the world in so many places, everyone's getting together and davening for Moshiach and showing Hashem that we're ready and we believe and making tambourines. And it was so like inspiring and exciting, and we felt like Moshiach is coming. And Moshiach came closer, but we didn't see Moshiach. We didn't see the Beis Hamikdash. We weren't all gathered in Yerushalayim. And they say that the definition of insanity is when you do the same thing again and again and again, expecting different results. And in a way, that's what it feels like sometimes with our Geulah gatherings, because over these years, these past 5 years, how many Geulah gatherings did we have? How many times did we gather together and cry out and believe and wait? And each time we're like, oh, now it's for sure happening, and Mashiach is coming right now, today, literally. And it's true what Chaya said about living Geulah now, and we could taste it now, but we don't want just to taste it. We want to be all gathered together in Eretz Yisrael, see the third Beis Hamikdash in its place, and have all the nevuos of Geulah as it's promised us, have the real comfort, not just little taste in our own private homes. And it could feel like just, insanity. Sometimes when I write my weekly message before Shabbos, and I feel like I'm crazy, and I feel like people probably think I'm crazy, because every single week I'm writing something about Mashiach and about Moshiach now, and then again another week's passes on the same thing. And for the past, it was Chaf B'Shvat, like 2.5 years ago. So far, it's been, I figured, it's been 101 classes that we were learning about Mashiach together with Dr. Sarah Rosenfeld and a few other women every single week, or almost every week, but it's last week was the 101st video, and the topic was crazy about Mashiach. And I thought to myself, you know what? Yeah, it's true. We're crazy. We're crazy about Mashiach. Every single Jew, the Rebbe says, and this was what we just talked about, every single Jew is crazy about Mashiach. We're insane. It's true. Exactly. Someone just wrote it. Every single day to expect Mashiach, every single day, no matter how long it takes, exactly, Torah, that it took so long, and we asked so many times, and to still wait, it's crazy. But the Rebbe said he's crazy about Mashiach, and the Rebbe said that truly every single Jew is crazy about Mashiach, and that's why we're sitting here, gathered together, 1,000 women who are all crazy about Mashiach, even though we've asked before, we've believed before, we've waited, but here we are again. And thank you, Basia, for being so strong and gathering us all together. And at the same time that we are crazy, and it feels insane, it's also not crazy. And I just want to mention why it's also not crazy in a way. Because first of all, like so many people mentioned, where, Chani was saying how we're in the month of Menachem Av, besides for the fact that we're in the, generation of Mashiach, and we're in the era of Mashiach, and with everything that's going on, with all the signs were passed long ago, and now what we're seeing is like, in the past, close to 10 months, what are we? Like, it's been the clearest sign of Mashiach. We've never been in such a state before. And on top of all this, we're in the month of Menachem Av, and the Rebbe says Menachem Av, exactly. It's one of the 13 principles. Exactly. Exactly. we are crazy in a good way, in a holy way. This is holy craziness. This is good craziness. And also it makes sense, because I remember when the war started with Moscow and Ukraine, and I was looking up in all these books that I have about Mashiach, could it be this is Geulah, like, and it was saying that Geulah, no, it's like when everyone is attacking Israel and it's all against Israel. And I was like, okay, I don't know, maybe it could still be interpreted another way. But here we are. It's so obvious, and we're in the month of Menachem Av. What's Menachem Av? It was so beautiful, so touching, like almost to tears what you were saying, Connie, that it's like we're comforting our Father, and at the same time, our Father is comforting us. He promises that in this month, like I think, who was it that mentioned, Miriam, somebody mentioned for sure, that it says about the month of Menachem Av, that in this month, the Beis HaMikdash will be rebuilt, that the lion came in the month of the lion and destroyed the lion, so that, in order that the lion Hashem will come in the month of the lion, in this month of Menachem Av, and rebuild and build the lion, which is our third Beis HaMikdash. So it's the right month, and we're coming to Tisha B'Av. Tisha B'Av, like Nechamedina mentioned, it's the birthday of Moshiach. It's all the pieces are coming together, and we've never seen our nation so holy, so united. All the stories that are coming out, hundreds of stories every single day that like literally are move you to tears, because we see Ba'amech Kulam Tzadikim, we're a generation that is all worthy, and we came to this point, and we're definitely going to see how this Tisha B'Av is transformed. Like someone wrote so beautifully, that if this Simchat Torah turned into Tisha B'Av, and this Tisha B'Av is going to turn into Simchat Torah, but actually much more. The Rebbe says that the the joy of Mashiach is much more than Simchat Torah. So it's going to be the greatest Yom Tov that we can't even imagine. And on top of this, this morning, saying Chitas, and it reminded me of what I was learning yesterday, what the Rebbe's words, and I really want to repeat this because it's so inspiring, and this shows also why we're not crazy to be asking again and again and again and waiting again and again, because today's Parsha, exactly, overdue pregnancy, and especially over now, even 9 months past, more than 9 months, exactly, it has to happen now. We're getting only closer, and we see it. We see how we're here, and this is Bezras Hashem, the last Geulah gathering that's in Geulah, and from now on, all together in Geulah. Hamitis Vashlema. So I just want to quote what the Rebbe said, something so powerful and so like encouraging for us, so that we could so relate to. The Rebbe says, today we read Veschanan, today's Chitas, that Moshe Rabbeinu was asking Hashem and pleading with Hashem, please let me go into Eretz Yisrael. And the meaning of the meaning of Veschanan is when you daven for something, and there's different explanations of why this word is used, and one of them is because Moshe Rabbeinu davened. The gematria of Veschanan, the numerical value of Veschanan, is 515. Moshe Rabbeinu davened 515 times, again and again and again, and Hashem didn't answer it, and he asked again and again to please let him lead the Yidden into Eretz Yisrael. And by the way, something very important that the Rebbe emphasizes is that Moshe's tefillah, his prayer for Mashiach, was not for him, to enter Eretz Yisrael was not personal. He wasn't asking that he should be able to enter Eretz Yisrael, because for that Hashem would for sure agree. His tefillah was that he should be able to take his whole generation with him, because like a loyal, a true Rebbe, a true shepherd, a true teacher of the Yidden does not forsake his flock, does not leave his generation behind in the midbar. So what Moshe's tefillah was that he should be able to take all of his generation, they should and all go with him to Geulah, especially when they should all go, and it should be the final Geulah. This was his tefillah, and that's why it was so hard. So this tefillah for Geulah that Moshe Rabbeinu said 515 times, which the Rebbe says is also possibly that his tefillah pierced. There's 15 like layers in heaven because of the 7 heavens and between each of them, and the first one is from earth to heaven. So 15 layers, and there's 500 levels in Seder Shalshot that his tefillah pierced all the levels. And what does Hashem say? Hashem says, please stop. Don't continue, because if you ask one more time, he's going to have to say yes. And we see from this the power of one more tefillah. Like the Rebbe said so many times, one thought, one word, one action, one thought of asking Hashem, of believing in Mashiach one more time, of asking Admasai, this could be the final time. And here is where I want to read what the Rebbe said, the lesson that we learned from Moshe Rabbeinu. From here is the lesson for all generations and for the Moshe of our generation. And the level of Moshe, which is in each side of us, inside of us, there's that spark of Moshe. That we don't pay attention, even though we had so many tefillahs and requests in the past. We need to ask again and then again and again to daven and request from Hashem ad masai. And this cry of ad masai is what the Rebbe said. We need to be stubborn, like Moshe Rabbeinu was stubborn, and he continued. And the Rebbe says he for sure didn't stop. His tefillahs were not for nothing. They will be answered. They weren't answered then, but each one of his tefillahs were counted and added up, and they're all bringing us, and they will be answered. Like they say, if it's always good in the end. If it's not good, it's not the end. We're always answered in the end. If we weren't answered, it wasn't yet the end. His tefillah will be answered 100%. It wasn't for nothing. And the Rebbe says here that every single Jew, that everything is ready for Geulah, and every single Jew is given a treasure chest that includes within it the entire Geulah, including the Sudas Moshiach, including everything, the Beis HaMikdash, everything that we're promised. And along with this treasure chest, we're given the key in our hands. And what is this key? And I want to say this in the Rebbe's words. This is the key to opening Geulah. Hadavar hayachidi sha'alav mechakim hu, the only thing that we're waiting for, sheyehudi yitzak oid ta'aka, that a Jew will cry out one more cry, im oid bakasha v'tviyah, with one more request and one more demand, to start and one more time mentioning ad masai. So I want to ask everyone here, we're together, so many women, hundreds and hundreds of women all over the world representing everyone. The Rebbe said when even 10 Jews gather together, we need to be using this power to say ad masai. Let's use this power now that we have all of us gathered together, and to say with all our hearts, this one more tefillah to add on to Moshe Rabbeinu's tefillah, and this will be the final hammer blow. Be'ezras Hashem will be the last tefillah, the last time we have to cry out, and we have so much to cry for, so much pain, and it's not for the pain itself. It's for we want to come. When will the purpose of creation be realized? When will Hashem's vision dream come true? Let's cry together, all together. Ad masai, ad masai, ad masai. Please, Hashem, let this be the last Geulah gathering. Let all of us here gather together. Let this tefillah that we're saying right now, all over the world, let this be the time that we see the miracles of Geulah that we were promised. Let this be the ultimate menachem, and we'll come into Tisha B'Av celebrating the greatest Yom Tif that will be the only Yom Tif that will really shine in Mashiach's times in these 3 weeks. And I just want to mention one more thing. If Chas v'Shalom, and we don't even want to give a room for any Chas v'Shalom, because Mashiach must come right now, and he will come right now. And if there's any delay, Chas v'Shalom, God forbid, that sometimes, when we say about insanity, some people don't like new things. They like all the old things, because, we don't like to make up new things. But at the same time, I actually love new ideas and new things, because that gives a hope when you want to try something different, something new that we didn't try before, in addition to trying everything that we have been trying already and doing, and one more time crying, and one more time saying Ad Masai, and one more time, one more mitzvah, in addition, one more coin in the pushka. In addition to this, sometimes we want to do something a little different. And one of the things that has been an awakening recently, and maybe I hope that maybe Sherni will help us with this in the end, is that it's written that the Mashiach will not come. Hashem says, I will not send Mashiach until the Yidden cry out for 3 things. Until they cry out for the Malchus, for the return of the kingdom of Hashem. For the second one is the kingdom of Melech HaMashiach, for Hashem to give us our King Mashiach, and for the return of the Beis HaMikdash. And we're crying for these 3 things. And along with this, one of the newer ideas, which is so beautiful, because women, Nashim Sukhaniyat, are always coming up with new ideas. What can we do that we didn't try yet, that maybe could make this be the final thing? And one of these beautiful initiatives is a Sefer Torah that's being written a unity Sefer Torah where everyone can buy letter in a Torah that's for the protection of the Yidden, of course, and for the unity. But this one is unique and new idea in that it's being written for the palace of Melech HaMashiach, because in Mashiach's palace, surely he will have also a shul with a Sefer Torah, and this Sefer Torah is being written with the bitachon and emunah and the crazy, irrational, but holy faith of Jewish women that we will be seeing King Mashiach. He will have his palace, and we're already preparing the Sefer Torah to be written there. So that's one thing that's possible on armonbuilders.org, I think. And there's also anyone that wants the 3 tefillahs, which there's a lot of women in actually Litvish and Hasidic communities that have been reading it every single day, 15 minutes gathering to daven for these 3 things. This is the stubbornness that the Rebbe said, please, be stubborn, don't give up, don't stop until Hashem gives in and Hashem comes. And of course, this is the ultimate comfort for him. We want it for him. And it's out of our love for him that we're demanding, please, return us all home right now. Bring us home now. So l'chaim, thank you so much. And we'll dance all together with our tambourines and celebrate Tisha B'Av together. The greatest, like Avram Fried has a song, the Freilich Tisha B'Av will be this year. Thank you for all the miracles, Hashem, and thank you for the miracles that we're about to witness. L'chaim.
Rivka, thank you for your incredible words. I kept crying and crying and crying. But we're going to cry from happiness together because it's going to happen any second. Thank you, Sky. Thank you.
Amen.
Moshiach spasiba. Moshiach spasiba.
Moshiach tzitz.
Moshiach tzitz.